So where does, now you're cultivating this A&R life, basically, because people are stepping to you asking for your opinion. It's really counting for something. How do you decide that you're going to take it further, start getting into management, start putting these crews together?
My nephew Mike G, my sister's son, he used to always say to me, because he went to Mary Bertram High School, he'd say, yo, me and the fellas want to make a record. I didn't take him serious in the beginning.
Mike G, Jungle Brother.
Yeah,
Right.
Mike G, Jungle Brother. I didn't take him serious because, I didn't know which direction he was going. Later on, a guy by the name of Tony D used to be a DJ for a group called Bad Boys that had made the record Inspector Gadget. He said, yo, Red, here it is. I just built a studio in my house, so, anybody you have interest, you may want to bring them on in. I said, okay, so that's when I went to my nephew and I said, y'all say you're on my record? Okay, let's go. And they came in there, first record they made, but even before then, going there, they went up to my cousin Jazzy because he had a studio. And they started something up there, but they never finished up. But then that's when I told them about Tony G. So they went out there, and one record they had called The Breaks, they ain't do nothing. But then here they came up with this concept as an idea off of my older brother. He used to always say this thing. He used to always say about a female, no disrespect. He always say about, I'm gonna see this chick. He's just, my brother was known for different things. Number one, like you still see me doing the abbreviation, the acronyms, I got that from him.
Right.
Then he had these different type of sayings. Yeah, I'm gonna see this Chizip tonight. When I see this Chizip, I'm make sure she get the Jimbrowski done. Make sure I get all.
Not the Jim Brown ski.
So my nephew Mike, remember that from the family. I was hearing Junie saying that we call my brother Junie. So he got together with Africa and they made a record called Jimbrowski. And that was the start off for the Jungle Brothers.
Did they cut a check for your brother or no?
Huh?
Did they cut the check for their uncle?
No, they ain't cut the check.
Oh, that's great.
That's wild. Now, mind you, you asked me what led me towards MECC. Now, before that, I was in affiliation with a couple other people before that because when I was DJing, remember the Roxanne era?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when, they came out with that, and then here it is that Marty got Shantae do it. So I'm hanging out in Russell Simmons' office. Russell Simmons was managing everybody at the time. He had Spider D as one of his artists. Spider came walking with a lady and said, yo, listen to this thing I just made. Check it out. He listening to it. Oh shit, this sounds right. Oh, yo, we gotta jump on this. Yo, anybody sign? Yeah, Nia Records just signed to the label. Okay, well, we gotta start. So the young lady, she right there, she say, yo, this is going too quick because this is all new to her. She said, this is, but yo, how y'all getting me? I don't even have a DJ yet. She turned around and looked at me, and Cut Creative was sitting right next to me, as Cut Creative was already with LL.
Mm-hmm.
She turned around and said, you want to be my DJ? I said, okay, that was Sparky D.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I started DJing for Sparky. And you know what was so clever that was Sparky because not once ever in our lives we ever practiced. We always went spontaneous. She'd feel me out, I'd feel her out, and I was on the road with her. So here with that, now afterwards that died down, here my man come to me, he asked me for advice about music, the music business. So I told him certain things that I knew. Mm-hmm. Here it is. He went ahead and made this record, and he wanted me to be a part of the crew. Rest in peace, Scott LaRock. So that's how I got an affiliation with Boogie Down Production. Here it is that before, once again, the management, I had some labels was coming to me about other certain things. I remember once Sparky got signed to another label called Next Plateau. They came to me and say, Red, nice meeting you. Any artists that you have interest that you can bring them on, bring them to us. So the group I didn't find, but they found me. And they say they want to get signed or something. And I listened to their material. Sound good was group Black Rock and Ron. That's how I'm living. I brought them over there. The next group after that, when they say they had a bad contract deal by handshake with a guy that was on 105.9, DNA along with Hank Love, they say, yo, Red, we need you to get over here and help us out. So I brought them over to Next Plateau. That was Ultramagnetic.
Wow.
So I was hand in hand.
Was you getting checks for the?
Each time I got them in, they gave me finder's fee.
Right. How much was the finder's fee?
Finder's fee was like $8,000. Also, I helped Poor Righteous Teachers, because Poor Righteous had their own label. And they had their own label, and I was playing it. A guy from Profile Records named Manny came and he said, what is this record you keep playing? Mm-hmm. So I showed him. He contacted everything and got them signed. Gave me finder's fee.
Awesome.
Just Sites too.
Yeah, she was getting all this signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goodness
So
gracious.
when you look at the development of DJing for artists, help people get a deal, and now here it is within your own coming to you about doing records and get that established where you start to manage them. That's when you form your own stuff as a company.
Right.
Like production.
And what year you quit your job?
Huh?
What year did you quit your job? Because you said you was working these jobs and.
Yeah, I used to. Now, by the time after my son, and working in, like I say, up there at Hunts Point, and then when I got other jobs, I developed to start working with this company called Gibbs and Hill in Two Penn Plaza. And that was right across the street from Madison Square Garden. But I also took up in school was drafting, learning how the idea of blueprints were, So I got that as an apprentice. So I was in there. I was in there for a couple years and still working with BAM until I got that shot for the radio. So after I got that shot at 83, at 84, they laid me off. So when they laid me off at 84, I still getting low pay, but I say, let me give this a shot because I saw how I developed my name getting gigs.
Right.
So that's what I did.
And from there, took off.
So Red Alert, what's the name of the management company? You said Red Alert.
R.I.P, Red Alert Production.
Where did Violators come from?
Violators come, okay, by the time I was in Union Square, in 86, I had some guys that were Zulus coming from the Bronx coming down. So they come to the door and say, hey, yo, BAM sent us down here. Knowing damn well BAM ain't sent you down here. But I got the understanding that you saw I was coming more and more into my own. So they looking at the next wave to come and join along with me. So I got them in. So as I got them in, it was a bunch of guys, and they always doing some dumb stuff.
What was the dumb stuff?
You know, taking people girls, couldn't stand people from Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. Look at
Hey, I'm being honest. Keep it in the book.
that. It's all good.
And one of them, I said, yo, man, you gotta stop this, man. Y'all violating. And that's how that name came about.
Violators.
You violating, man. Especially when it came to the girl, because I saw them snatching girls from people out of guys' arms. I said, yo, man, you gotta stop violating, man. Because I'm looking at, I just started in this club the first night. And y'all coming in and just doing all the dumb stuff.
Then you started shouting it out all over the place. It became a thing.
Now you're asking the beginning. I'm telling you the beginning.
That was the beginning, right.
Put the brakes on. Here it is. At first, it was Chris Lighty, we called him Baby Chris. It was a guy named Dow, we called him Sneaky D. And there was 2 or 3 other guys that was all part of them. So now here it is. They coming down, they doing the thing. Meanwhile, I got a couple other guys coming down from Bronxville. Yo, Bam, send us that. I said, come on in. Now, at that time, I don't know if y'all heard the history of how Union Square used to be.
Yeah, well, I heard.
Nuts.
Right.
And they always challenging my brothers. So they always fighting. So that's how they developed, their name got developed because they said, who y'all fighting? These guys, they call themselves Violators.
All right.
So before I even got to say something, their name was buzzing from fights.
Okay, so rewind. The history of Union Square. What was going on down there?
Union Square, where, you know, it was a hip hop club that was down on 18th Street in Broadway, you know, right across from Union Square Park. And I was doing Fridays. And, you know, at the time in '86, you were playing all the hits. You know, we talking about the year that Eric B. Rakim came out. We talking about when Boogie Down Production came out. We talking about, here it is, that Dougie and Heavy already came out with their records. Mm-hmm. You know, we talking about the tail end of Run DMC, with Peter Piper. We talking about, here you got Salt and Pepper, you know, and then there was other various records, you know. I'm right along all in conjunction together. But Brooklyn was always doing the crazy stuff. You know what they do. Vic season. Yeah, you got the thumbs up.
They got the thumbs up.
Part of the culture,
Pride,
man.
with pride. With saying
Part
with
of the
pride.
culture.
It was Vic season.
Part of the, yeah.
And it was being challenged, and it was challenging people that's not from Brooklyn. It didn't even have to be just the Bronx. It could be Harlem, it could be Queens, it could be anywhere out of but Brooklyn.
Right.
And that's how I used to be in there.
So
Y'all dudes need therapy.
So you saying a young Chris Lighty was in
need
Union
therapy.
Square duking it up too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
The way he carried himself, you'd be like, he was always so, you know.
No, he was that.
He was getting that.
No, he was about that life.
But you molded him.
Look at Matt.
Did you take? Can you take credit?
Now I'm going to tell you how that came about.
Gotcha.
So now here it is as they on, and then from there, only 7 months lasted in Union Square. Only 7 months. Then from there, I went to Latin Quarters, and they right along with me. So now here it is. There was two different crews. I forgot the crew that was in Brooklyn that was in there, but it's a different crew that's in Latin Quarters. And I heard most of them come from the project, the Pink House.
Well, yeah.
What crew was it? Pink Houses, yeah.
It was Pink
Houses.
House crew.
Right.
You know, Dog, Pig, you know, a couple others. And I forgot the other ones that was in Brooklyn. I mean, in Union Square. So the fighting continues. You know? Now, at that time, by their name buzzing because they fighting, and I'm shouting their names out. I'm always shouting it. And then they start doing promos for me. Cause I was always known for having promos. People were shouting me out, and they'll read such and such, and so that's how their name started buzzing. Wow. Now, what led to later on, when the group came out, Jungle Brothers, and they started making records, and they started doing shows, they needed a road manager. The reason I appointed Chris Lighty to become the road manager because a lot of people didn't understand. He was arrogant and cocky, but he had a good head on his shoulder. Chris was a person that, while he was in Union Square, he was going to school, working as an electrician on Metro North.
That's a lot of money.
And hanging out.
That's a lot of money.
And throwing hands.
And
It
throwing
makes
hands.
sense because his cousin is about that life. AB. I should have known.
AB, shout out to
AB.
Yeah.
That's my guy. He did a lot of math.
AB.
Yeah, he about that.
And he was
Rest in
around that
peace.
too.
Yeah. I just thought
Shout
about
out to
that.
AB.
So now here it is. I got him involved to start representing for the Jungle Brothers. And then, you know, as I got to formulate my company, he was part of the company.
Yeah.
And then from there, he extended from there and got involved with Leroy Cohen's for Rush Management.
But Violators.
Then
still
he
stuck
formed, after that, he formed Violator Records first.
with- Okay.
From Violator Records, then he formed Violator Management. And then started having a big conglomerate right behind that.
It's hot for trap turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the way you need to surf, you heard.